Oh, hey Reese, what's going on today? Hi, how you going? It is, of course, me, Reese T. O'Leary of perpelFLAME and Company. That's right, perpelFLAME. And you are, of course, joining me here for another episode of Wellness Wednesday, where I like to give you all some tips and tricks and introduce you to some tactics and techniques that you can take away in your day-to-day life and use for all your wellness needs and benefits. That's right. Now, before we do get into today's video, I do want to remind you all to like, share, and subscribe if you don't mind. And of course, hit that little bell notification if you would like to see and know every time we post a new video here on the YouTube channel. Now, today's video is a cool one. Today's video is all about travel. And you're probably thinking, but how can travel be a wellness benefit? Well, let me tell you, I firsthand can express to you how travel can be, well, used for wellness purposes for us all. I have been traveling my whole life. You can consider me essentially a traveler of the lands. And when I say my whole life, I literally mean my whole life. I've lived in, over 30, close to 40 different places, across time, space, reality, different countries, different states, different territories, different towns. I was born in country Australia. I've lived in the city. I've lived in the country. I've lived in the jungle. I've lived in the bush. I've lived, by the ocean, near the mountains, like you name it. I've had a lot of experiences living in many different places. And although living in a space is not just all there is that encompasses travel, most people often think about, when they think about traveling, holidays, right? Going on holidays somewhere. And I'm forever sharing with people the sentiment that when we travel, we step away from what we're used to for just a moment in time. And that can afford us with, and most people, let me be honest with you, don't travel to relax. They travel to go and do things, which I can see the benefit in both angles of this, because on one hand, yes, you're getting away, but on another hand, you're just getting away to exhaust yourself all over again. And most people don't often have enough time either when they do go and travel due to their day-to-day lives to be able to actually, in my opinion, travel correctly, which requires you to go to a space or a place for a dedicated period of time, more than 2 weeks, right? But when you do go and travel, you often will go and do a lot of fun activities and things like that. And it actually takes you away from the space that you're in, Commonly, I've had a lot of people come and visit me in Thailand and come to Thailand, my house in Thailand. And I've had the fortunate opportunity of taking them to different places and doing different things with them. But when I go and travel, and even when I'm just traveling away from this office, right, or when I'm traveling away from anywhere that I might be based at any one given time, it takes me out of what I know to be on a regular basis, right? And that affords me with the opportunity of being able to expand my awareness, my consciousness, to see what's going on in different parts of the world, right? Different areas, different places. I meet different people, right? Again, expanding my consciousness. You just learn. You learn so many different things about the place that we exist in, this planet, this beautiful planet that we live on. It's funny, people often say to me, where do you live? And I say, I live everywhere. Because I do quite literally believe that I live everywhere. I've always lived by the sentiment that we're not trees. We're not rooted into the ground, so therefore we have the ability to travel around regularly. And I find that people don't take the opportunity to travel enough to relax or to get out of the space that they're in, right? Now, when you do travel and you do intend to go and travel for the purposes of relaxing or to get out of the space you're in, as well as the things I've already mentioned, it gives you the opportunity to seek out different nature, right? So different flora and fauna, so different animals, different species, different plants. The learning capacity of traveling is crazy. You know, if you go to different countries, you might learn different languages along the way. A lot of people think I speak a lot of different languages. I wouldn't call it speaking a lot of different languages. I know how to say a little bit in a lot of different languages. And that's, of course, because of my traveled nature. You know, I've been to not as many countries as other people, but I've been to a decent amount of places several times. I've been to Japan. I've been to, obviously, Thailand. I've been to New Caledonia, Vanuatu, Australia. But I've covered much of Singapore. I've covered a lot of ground in these places. And I've had the opportunity I like to go back over a location over and over and over again. I like to feel as though I'm at one with the location that I'm at. You know, I can comfortably walk around Thailand. I can comfortably walk around Singapore. I can comfortably walk around many parts of Australia. There's not many parts of this wonderful, huge country that I haven't seen. I can comfortably walk around Vanuatu, Noumea, you know, in New Caledonia. I can comfortably go to many different places and feel at home with the space that I'm in, because I don't change how I react to the world around me based on the location that I'm in anymore, because every location is my home, right? I'm a traveller. I travel. If I could recommend travelling to people, well, I can't recommend it enough, actually. Again, you get out of the space you're in, you see your life from a very different angle, from a very different perspective. You're able to kind of step out and look from this other perspective and look at all the things that you enjoy and you're grateful for, but then on the other hand, things that you might want to change, things that, you know, you might go, oh, why do I do things like that? Distance and perspective almost go hand in hand in this conversation, because with distance you get more perspective, yeah? With interacting with other cultures and people and places and things, you get more and more and more perspective, because there is more comparison that you can formulate as a part of that. You know, we're very fortunate in the world we live in. We have internet and technology, and we can reach into different spaces and places through these methods and means, but being in a place, traveling to a place, is very different. It's very different than watching a space or watching a place over these means, right? And it's funny, by the time you're watching this video, I'm actually going to be in the middle of traveling, right? I film a lot of these videos ahead of time, so you will never know when this video was filmed. The magic of television, right? The magic of YouTube. But traveling is something that if you haven't done it, you need to do it. If you are scared of doing it, ask yourself why, right? What are you scared to change? What are you scared to see? And if you have done it, but you haven't taken into account anything that's been said in this video, I implore you to book another trip somewhere, right? Even if but just for the weekend or for a couple of days, and try different angles of traveling. Try camping, try glamping, try hotels. You know, I've stayed at the Ritz-Carlton in Japan, right? I've stayed at 5-star penthouses and hotels, and I've also stayed in my car and a tent and the side of the road, or I've camped on the beach or the mountains. You know, it's the world is such a beautiful place, but you'd never know that unless you travel, right? Travel is something that you will never ever compare to anything else in the world. I know that was it sounds such a stupid sentiment to say, but you'll understand what I mean if you're a traveller. I can easily live out of a suitcase, and in fact I have been for a little while now. So anyways, that's all you've got me here for today's video. I hope you took a lot out of this Wellness Wednesday video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow for another one. Alrighty, Roo. Bye. Catch us on the flip side.